Gavin, commiserations today. Your side exit the FA Trophy after a tense penalty shootout. How are you feeling?
I'm actually cool with the penalties. I mean, you know, that's just one of those things. It goes either way. You know, Connor may need to learn a lesson from that. What you need to do is hit the target. That's the first thing you need to make sure, and then you're hoping that the keeper goes the wrong way and it's a good height if he does. So he'll learn from that. He's had a good performance today. So we don't overanalyse the penalties, that's for sure. In open play, we should win the game. There's no question. There's no question. We have the better chances. I thought our second half performance was still not at the levels that we want, but a decent enough performance. I thought the first half just cancelled each other out. Few goal scoring opportunities, if any, and it looked a bit of a dead game really in some respects. I thought we came out, we looked livelier, we looked fitter than them in the second half, and unfortunately can't put the ball in the net. And need Beachy to keep us in it in the last minute. Had we been losing it 1-0 today with that last minute chance, I'd still have gone in and said exactly the same as I did to the boys, and that was effectively that if you're not going to put the ball in the net, then you're going to find it difficult to win football matches. So that's something I've got to address. I've got to address it whether I think it's just a blip because we have been putting the ball in the net, or whether I think that it needs some additions, and I'll have to have a look at that. But yeah, I think we've again missed a trick today. We're out of the competition when in open play it wasn't a classic by any means, but I don't think we should be. But we've only got ourselves to blame. So yeah, I can't odds it.
And over the week we saw the departure of Dan Carr and Ollie Knight. Ollie Knight particularly must thank for his services to the club. He's been here for a few years now.
Yeah, definitely both of them. Whether they've been here a short time, but obviously I'll focus more on Ollie because Ollie was one of my first signings. Fairly emotional Ollie actually that came in during the week, if I'm honest, and said goodbye. Said goodbye to the boys. It's a good approach from Horsham, a decent club, he looked at it and thought that it was the best option for him at this stage. So we absolutely wish him all the best. There's no question that lad has put a shift in for us over the last few years. As I say, he was one of my first signings. He was a massive part of what we did in that first season and last season. We obviously had the 2 COVID seasons, and he's been around, and we've enjoyed having him around. So he goes reluctantly with my best wishes. We didn't want him to go, that's for sure. But he's made that decision, and all we can do now is wish him all the best.
That was in fact the first game we haven't scored in this season. Do you feel like this needs to be addressed with a new signing? Can we expect any more auditions now?
It's possible. I think in the respect of the goals that we have scored, they've come from quite a lot of different sources at times. So, but I'm not down on the boys in that respect. I'm not saying, you can see for yourself out there that we need something. I'm not down on the boys. They put a shift in every single game. We had an iffy half against Swindon earlier in the season. We had an iffy half against Beaconsfield here. But other than that, I look at them and I think they're in every single football match. They're pushing the boundaries all the time, and I can't say enough about them to an extent at the minute. What we haven't quite got is maybe that quality when games are tight at the moment, and that ability to take the odd chance and see the game out as a 1-0. And that requires a steady hand. That requires experience in some respects, and we'll have to see what's about, and whether have a scrum down with John and Tazi and Carl and see whether something else is needed.
And finally, look ahead to Gosport on Tuesday night for return to league action after a couple of weeks. Looking forward to it.
Yes, I suppose. Yeah, I mean they're a tough side. They're a side that they're a side that I keep saying it. Like I fully expect, and I've said it on previous seasons, to have been up there, to be challenging, to be certainly in a playoff position. And I don't see them any other way this season. I think they've got experience in the side. They've got a good setup, and for me, it's going to be one of our toughest games of the season.